Hello, people. We are back. A2TP podcast, episode 216, and we are back in the building for another episode of Us. It's your boy, International Walt.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
And we back for the show. Instagram, YouTube, yes, very comfortable. TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcast Player, FM. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, all that fun and good and gushy stuff. Fuck with us and we'll fuck with you. Let's get right to it. How are you?
I am good.
Talk to me. Say more words.
Mentally.
With the brain like.
Mentally, I'm a 9.
Shrinking?
No, mentally, I'm a 9. I just feel like I need a. I think the way that I handle things like stress and all that kind of stuff, it builds up, and then I need like a.
What may be stressing?
You not being, well with me. Like I think that kind of put a year on me. I think.
Jesus.
No. Why you say that?
Because basically what you're saying is it took a year off you.
No, I'm just saying.
When people say it put a year on me, that means you lost a year of life.
No, once I get a vacation, a little break, a little woosah, I'll gain it back. But that's why I'm feeling like a 9. Like nothing is wrong. I'm just feeling like I need a little poquito break. Finances an 8 always. Thank you, Jesus. Work is a 10. No complaints there. Like all good. Been busy, but good. So yeah, no complaints there at all. And physically, I'm a 9. I feel good. I have a headache right now, ladies. That time of month. I'm not one that's susceptible to cramps, but I do get headaches. And it's like when it comes down on you, and it's weird because for me, it can come before, it can come during, or it can come after. So it's like that probably like week and a half period is like, no pun intended, that week and a half time frame. For me, it's like, you never know. I'll be so happy when it comes and then I don't get a headache. And then at the end, it'd be like, I didn't forget to come and visit.
They'll knock you over your noggin.
Yeah, and then
bash your shit in.
When it comes before, it's like, all right, you're just letting me know you're on your way. I know. And the noise, the lights, like every little thing is like.
Do you feel like it's something like you can do to expedite the process?
To expedite like the headache getting over?
Yeah, like some women say, like, if I'm it's not like some women would say, when my period about to come on, I can have sex to get it knocked on. Or like if you feel like in your body, like if you fell down, like your period would come on and then all the other shit would go away.
Falling down, it's not like you got a bubble that's waiting to be burst. Let me trip and pop this bubble.
Just feel like it would expedite the process and then get on with it.
Nah, I'm not. I haven't discovered anything.
I couldn't imagine dealing with something like that my entire life. Like
a period?
Yeah, like it's just mind blowing. Like the adaptation you have to like, okay, once a month this is gonna happen, and there's nothing I could do about it.
And again, I don't want to complain too much because compared to some women that I know, I got it relatively easy. I know some women who are like bedridden for maybe not the whole time, but like a first day or so. I know some women who are, and when I say bedridden because of the pain from cramps, I know some women that are bedridden or not bedridden but housebound because of the heaviness of flow, and it's like, I'm going to make a mess everywhere I go, so I need to not leave the house to be able to constantly clean up after myself. So I don't experience like anything to that effect, but the headaches is enough to be like, come on already. Like you almost just want to like be in a cool, like the remedies for it for me, Motrin, coffee, which I drink coffee, but I drink decaf, so the caffeine helps. Excuse me. Chocolate helps, but I don't really. No, I don't really. Maybe a little bit, but no. I don't really eat a lot of candy. I don't really eat candy like that anymore. Every now and then I have a chocolate chip cookie, But so those are like kind of the things that take it away, but it's temporary, but it comes back. Because like this morning I woke up, and that's the worst, when you wake up and it's like the side of your face, your eyeball. And it's not one of them things where it's like, oh, give it a little time and it'll go away. It ain't going away until you fix it. So for me, Motrin, quiet, cool pillow, that kind of stuff, helps for it to dissipate. But then it comes back. So, and it doesn't last the whole time, but it's almost like just knocking on the door until splash, it opens. That's disgusting.
It is. Can we move on? Because it's for like 6 minutes on periods. Like, it's enough. And don't nobody know how I am. Nobody asked me how the fuck I was. We just started talking about blood.
You asked me if it was something I could do to expedite it. If I fall down.
If you fell down, they were like, get it on. Like, maybe you saw that as a metaphor to speed it up.
No. How are you, baby?
I'm good.
Wait, and let me just say this. We are not period sexers. So no. That is like, nah.
Even though I got on a red shirt right now and we talking about that, no, that's not my bag.
If I know that like it's right there, then I'll let you know like,
Plus,
like,
I'm a real man. Like, I can sense, like, yeah. Especially if, like, it's mine. So I know, like, yeah, you not right now.
Yeah, like, if I know it's coming, or like, if I know, like, all right, it's a touch there. No, like, that's not my bag. I know some women, with the whole just lay a towel down. I can wait.
That's so bad.
Yeah, I can wait. But how are you, baby?
I am good.
Say more words.
My head, mentally, I am a 9. I feel good about the way my body feel. I don't want to move too fast, but I'm thankful that my body is healing. So my mental is good. I do want to be back in the gym, like, vigorously, and I know that takes time. That makes me a little sad when I think too long about it. But at the end of the day, I feel great in that I got breath in my lungs, and I will be back in there soon. Mm-hmm. So yeah, looking forward to it, as you taught me to say. What's next? Finances, 8, always an 8, leaving pocket for room for growth. More blessings. What's next? Work is a 10. Got a lot of guys doing a lot of things at work. I'm back full throttle in work, like moving around as much as I can. Not like 100%, but a 60% me or a 70% me is par for the course. It's needed at work. So yeah, I feel good about that. And lastly, but not least, is
physically. You kind of touched on it, but
yeah, I like the way my body has responded. I mean, initially, I didn't know what to expect after having surgery. 2 days, 3 days afterwards, I really was in, I guess, the pain the doctor was talking about when you deny narcotics, and they say, hey, at night you wake up to pee or something, you might need these to get back to sleep. And I experienced a little bit of that, like, okay, now that my sleep is broke, if I don't get right back to sleep, it's like the pain is, because it was like a dull 2 or 3, like all the time. Like, if anybody ever had a toothache, that has its own heartbeat. So it's not like thump, 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 thump. It's just like a mild, you're in pain all the time. Mm-hmm. Because, you got a gut shot. You got a gut shot. Up. So that was weird to experience, but I like the way my body is responding. I like the way I'm healing, and I don't want to push it. I want to heal properly so that when I do go hard, that I don't have any setbacks or, any resentment, anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
That's good. I'm happy that you are taking it easy. I think at first I thought it was going to be more difficult for you to acclimate and for you to adhere to the instructions from your doctors and from your wife. But you gave a little pushback until your body lets you know, like.
It's not the pushback. It's just I want to listen to you. You're my best friend. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to the doctors. I've never been through this experience, but also, y'all, I've been living with this body for 47 years, so I know it a little bit more than y'all do.
Yeah, but you don't know it after surgery.
Neither
because you never had surgery.
Neither do y'all.
the doctors know bodies after surgery. They may not know yours.
But they don't know other people's bodies.
So you know more than the doctor?
At times.
Okay.
At times. Okay. I know I didn't need drugs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and
so,
that I didn't.
I knew more than the doctor.
that I didn't. I was sure that you wouldn't need. I was surprised because we told him he didn't even have to call a prescription in. So when I went to get your other medication, I was surprised that it was even there. But I wasn't thinking
Don't bring
that you were going to take that.
Nah, and to be honest with you, after going through the pain, it wasn't necessary. Yeah. And I think he only sent me like 5 milligrams or whatever, but for a person that don't take that, that's like a perk 30.
Yeah.
But it's like a pain that you can deal with. Is it uncomfortable? Do you want it there all the time? No. But it wasn't like I'm in pain. Like it wasn't like that. It was just like
very dramatic.
Well, you just wanted to, for people to know. But it was just like a dull pain that was there all the time.
Yeah. Question. I thought I was having this conversation with somebody the other day about, now that we grown and we are able to have access and utilize resources that maybe in our parents' and grandparents' generation either wasn't available to them or they would have never thought about utilizing. What are some like modern day resources, amenities, that sort of thing that you use now that like you could not see yourself not having access to? Like it's almost like it set a new standard.
Give me an example.
Like me, the dishwasher. Like I don't want to be in a house anymore where I don't have a dishwasher. And this is our first home, so it's only been 3 years, but it's like I don't want to run a sink of water. Now, our dishwasher had broke for like 2 weeks. Well, we didn't know what was wrong with it, but it started working again. But so that's one thing, a dishwasher. Instacart, even though we've been kind of scaling back a little bit, but just having the ability to be able to do that.
So you wanted to always be an option for you? Like if they took away Instacart, you think you would be hurt?
No, I don't think I would be hurt, but I feel like it's something that our parents would have never thought about. You like even spending the money. But I feel like you think about, your groceries might be an extra $15, $20. But you think about the extra $15, $20 that you waste on other stuff during the week. I'm okay with spending that for my convenience. So that's just something too. Like for you, it might be the car wash. Back in the day, our grandpa.
You want me to tell you what they are?
No, you go ahead.
Because you just took mine away. I was going to say the car wash, but if you was going to tell it, then you tell it.
No, go ahead.
It would be the car wash. Being able to go wash my car whenever I want to pay like a fee a month to be able to go as many times. I can go every day if I want.
With your membership.
Yeah, so that's cool, and I don't think my parents would have ever done thing like that.
They would have been like make a bucket of water, soapy water.
Some things that I'm probably not utilizing now, but I have in the past, and I do on some bills, auto pay. Like that's a thing that if you have a bill that you like, sometimes you forget, or it's like on the back burner, like cable or something like that, and it's not too high. You can auto pay things and it takes a strain off you. And our parents definitely wouldn't have.
Hell, I wouldn't let nobody take nothing.
Hell no. Yeah. Like I'll pay you the money. You ain't taking shit. So that's just a couple of things off the top of my head.
If we had a kid.
You want to go old school, like air conditioning, like I'm on suites. I don't ever want to be in another house where we don't have an ensuite. Yeah, and we have 3 bathrooms, so like 2 full bathrooms and a half bath. But I don't ever want to be in a house where we don't have multiple bathrooms, and definitely not an ensuite. Like it's the first time I had a bathroom in my room, and I couldn't think like to buy a house or be in a house where that doesn't exist. You gotta wake up and
walk down the hall. Yeah. If we had a kid, would you be opposed to not full time, but a nanny just to like kind of help out, like for my mental space,
to a certain degree? Because don't get me wrong, raising a
wait, and let me just say this: not a nanny to watch the kid while we're not here, but like to be here while I was here to help.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay. Like to a certain degree, because again, a lot of that stuff I feel gets warped into something it's not. Like, you just want somebody here, or we can afford it to do the things that you probably should be doing, but you can get help doing it. And again, I'm not opposed to help. Like, if you need a nanny to do the outside stuff, go get this, go get medicine, shopping, pick this up, pick this person up from school while you working and doing other shit, or you just home at the house, and then when you get to the house, you need a little help there because you may have an infant or something. That's cool. But if I had a nanny in the house and I saw you like using the nanny to do shit that like you could do, it would be like, damn, like, I feel like you just being like, I don't want to say lazy, but you taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah, no, I think I would utilize a nanny just to the extent if it's like, you know what, I want to get some, not using her as a housekeeper. Like, I want to get some laundry and stuff done, get dinner and stuff together, so can you, sit with the baby for this period of time or whatever to, help with that. So yeah, it would be like those kind of things.
Yeah,
like,
so I think that's what I mean to say. Like, if I come home and the nanny's washing my shit, it would be like, why didn't you switch it around and make the nanny wash the kids so you could wash my shit? Like, that kind of thing. Always help with the kids, but yeah, I don't want the nanny fucking taking care of me. Like, I want my wife taking care of me.
Well, okay, but that's another thing. That's what a housekeeper. Like, but see, even with a housekeeper, no, that's kind of, because there's certain things that I want a housekeeper to do, but laundry is not one of them. Like,
and I don't want necessarily, and we might be just saying semantics.
All right. When I say a housekeeper, I mean in the sense of somebody not that's here every day, but somebody.
I would want not to cut you off. A cleaning service.
Yeah.
So I would want to utilize the cleaning service once or twice a month, not like have a person who comes once or twice a week.
No, I was thinking once a week, but once every other week, even still. But okay.
Yeah, like you do the normal shit, like the laundry and shit like that, so nobody ain't in our underwears and shit. But to come and do deep cleans.
Yeah. Okay, so we on the same page with that.
I read a story today. Let me get some water, clear my throat so I ain't coughing. I read a story today, and I want to see what you think about it. It was about geriatric parolees. So, since the 90s and the drug crime bills, a lot of people went to jail and went away for 30 and 40 years. And now these people are getting out around this time and will be in the next 5 to 10 years. And there's studies been done that say like people over 50 years old have a harder time adapting to life outside of prison than people who are younger than 50 years old. These people depend on their parole officers and programs and churches to move them forward in society, where if you're younger, you probably would get out there and make it happen yourself. Also, there's an issue with them having 30 and 40 year work gaps where they don't have any work history or anything like that. And again, they depend on churches and their parole officers to set them up with jobs, which could be menial jobs, like, just doing something that you're just there in place to do. And it's like, this has no purpose or whatever. So, and you got some dignity because you're of a certain age. But a lot of them apply for Medicaid. A lot of them apply for welfare and things like that. But it's tough for these people that, went to jail when they was 20 years old, getting out when they 50 and 55 years old, and they don't have no programs or anything like that, which made me think about your outreach that you do. But like, what gives? Like, what say you with the people that having a hard time with adjusting to, life after doing 30 years old and you 50, 55 years old?
It's funny that you say this because I saw a video today, and I think I sent it to you, of a guy who was, I believe, wrongly convicted of murder when he was 16, and he did 25 years, and he just came home. And it was, I don't know, a woman was recording him because he saw a trash can. It was a metal trash can, and she was like, "What did you ask me?" He was like, "You said this is trash can." She was like, "What did you have a hard time understanding?" And he was like, you said this was a trash can. He was like, I look at it, I see how it could be a trash can, but it just don't make sense. And it was it was a metal rectangle and it had a bar along the bottom. And she was like, now you understand it though, right? He was like, yeah, like, when I step on this, it opened up. He was like, it don't look like no trash can I ever seen. And you think 16, so he's 41, right? And his mind is blown by a trash. And this is now we have a trash.
Eat the trash.
we have a motion sensor, like that would have probably really blew his mind. We have a motion sensor trash can, but this one you just step on it and it lift up the lid and you put the trash bag in there. Like it looked like a regular trash can. So it just makes me think about how I think the big divide is the digital divide and the lack of digital literacy that has really put a gap between generations. I think where the problem is, you can't incorporate those. There are several what they call re-entry programs on the outside, but it's almost like it's a little too late at that point. You need to have those programs within the system while they're there. Like GED programs are great, but you need to have them, keeping them up to speed on digital literacy, on all of the goings ons as we're experiencing on the outside, so that they are prepared to re-enter society already having those skills. That's going to put them behind. Like, cause you think about an old head who used to, be familiar with a cash register, like a almost like a typewriter cash register. And now, even if they wanted to get a job at Aldi or something like that,
they got an iPad.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that digital divide is what really poses an issue. Not to mention if there's already some other literacy gaps. But
I'm not to cut you off, but just to speak to your point in there was a counselor who spoke to that and said that in the story, saying that it's the most difficult thing. She was a counselor for 35 years, and the most difficult thing she had to do was teach a 68-year-old man how to read. And she was like, the gap of being literate to a person, like the older you get, she was like, it's so much more difficult to teach a person new things. Like you're saying, technology, the computer, this is the way things work now. It's almost like something happens with your mental capacity, your frontal cortex, where it's almost like you get frustrated before you can digest and process the information. It's like you get so frustrated that you give up on it. And that don't necessarily happen when you're younger, but when you get of older age, like just to think that you 68 years old and you're being taught cat and home and dog, like that shit could be very, very difficult.
It's not even so much being taught, it's the memorization. Like you could have a great day in school today learning, but having to memorize that. They say your brain is a sponge. The best time to learn language skills is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. So you're talking about 60 years later. Outside of that, your brain is almost starting on the decline side,
and then you
wanted to learn new stuff. So that's where I think unfortunately in America, our correction system really isn't built for correction. It's just built as a penal system.
Punishment,
Like there needs to be, and you have, some, like I know there's different trade programs, but it's not across the board. So I think that's where the problem is. They need to start preparing people for their exit while they're already there. And I'm not talking about just in the last year. Like this is something that it shouldn't even be an option. If you know this person is getting, like will come home one day, this needs to be a part of their sentence. Like you have to learn a skill, you have to keep a job, you have to learn multiple skills. Like kind of how you rotate. Maybe you do auto mechanic for 6 months, you do wood shop for 6 months, you do cooking for culinary for 6 months. Like you rotate so that you can develop a skill. And again, keeping up with what's going on. The digital divide, the gap grew so astronomically in such a short period of time. Like it's things that we have outgrown us, that we're okay where we are. We know what we need to know to do the things that we need to do and get by. But there's so much more advanced stuff that we don't know. And again, we may not necessarily need to know it because, we're older, we are where we are. But the things that like our younger kids are going to know when they're our age far exceeds what we're going to know. So I think that's the problem. You have these people coming out and they're so dependent on the church and, these other communal entities because
it's all they have at that point. Because a lot of them said, there was one guy who was speaking in an interview, and he was saying he went to jail. His mom died, and he came home, and his uncles died. Like so many people died while he was in prison that he comes home, he don't have nobody. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I have one friend. His name is Danny, but he has health problems, so he's in no position to help me. So I got to go to the church. I got to go to my parole officer and say, hey, put me on the board for some temp agency that, I'm going to make $9 an hour, just to do some work. And he was like, it's just tough. Like, and then I can't get an apartment. I can't do this. And I got this 35-year gap of, hey, you ain't done nothing. Yeah. You got no skill set. So yeah, you're right. If they had them things in prison where you could become, and I know some prisons have them, but where you could become a welder, you could become this, you could become that, where you have a skill set that you learn. So if you do get out of jail, you might have did pipe wrenching in jail. You could become a sprinkler fitter when you get out. Like there's things that you could do in there that they could show you. And I know, like, they probably say, well, we can't be giving people pipes and shit. Somebody will get cracked over their head.
You should have to earn it, right?
Yeah. And a culinary class where it's like, you get a set of knives. They can't take them back to their cell. You leave them there, and you come there and learn how to cook, or you learn how to, do shit. So you just acquire a skill set other than, I was a dope dealer. I got locked up for 30 years. I got out, and I'm just the same. I'm just an older dude.
And it needs to be some sort of like when people are in prison and they're doing these jobs, there needs to be some sort of compensation plan where almost how like when we work, we get money put into a 401k, mm-hmm. but there's some money that's put away. Like I know they get paid like 17 cents an hour, which is crazy, but there needs to be some money that's like paid to them for the hours that they work, but that's put into a fund so that when they are released from prison, they have money for an apartment, or for we're not going to push you to an apartment, money to rent a room. Like, because you have so many of these people. There was the guy who, I think it was around Christmas time. He, this social media video was going around. He had paid for this old head. He paid his bail for him to be released from jail. And he was like, I want, like, what you doing? Like, I don't have no bills in there. I know I'm going to eat. I got a place to lay my head.
It's warm.
You letting somebody outside who doesn't have any stability. It's cold out here. Yeah, they don't want to have to worry about paying a bill. They don't have to worry about where their next meal's coming from, where they're going to rest their head. So you let these people out who are not prepared to re-enter society. Then it's like, now what?
Oh, it didn't have a coat on. And it was like cold outside.
One of the programs that I work with, they have and again, it's a re-entry program. They have HVAC programs. They have, you can become like a drug peer counselor. You can become a phlebotomist. So they do have different programs. But again, when I have been there and looked at the audience of people, it's not that 50, 60-year-old audience. It's the younger audience who has the capacity to learn those skills. It's hard. You let a 60-year-old man out of jail and say, hey, you want to learn how to draw blood?
And it's got to be hard too. Like you went, and it's not saying like you was a drug dealer, okay, you should have went to jail. Who knows if you should have got a 35-year sentence.
Right.
That's harsh because of them fucked up crime bills. But 8 of your closest family members died while you was in prison. Now you come home and you absolutely have nobody. You was in prison, so you didn't make no babies. Your mom died, your dad died, your closest uncle died, maybe your favorite cousin died. Like, that shit is crazy. And then you come home and you got to depend on a church that you never been to.
Right.
They got to, not say a half-ass program, but ain't nobody funding that. So it ain't like it's a lot of money there, a lot of resources there.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Nowadays, when we were little, as far as like the verbiage we would hear as when something was wrong with people, we have not heard the two words narrative and anxiety in the last 5 years in our whole lives. Would you agree?
Say that we've never heard narrative and anxiety. No,
like those two being buzzwords, like people saying, hey, this is a narrative. You're creating a narrative. Like for the
I would
last
say
5
narrative,
years,
but not anxiety. I wouldn't say that.
You heard about anxiety as a kid when you was growing up?
Heck yeah.
I never, because
Yeah.
it wasn't identifiable. And when I was growing, I'm a few years older than you, but people, if something was wrong or somebody was acting weird, they didn't say it was anxiety. They just said this person is nervous or scared or whatever. But the word anxiety was not thrown around when I was a child.
When I always remember a lesson that I learned in church, they would say that you should not have anxiety because the root word of anxiety is angst, and angst comes from fear. And God says fear not. So that's how anxiety always played in my brain. But yeah, anxiety is for me, it's not like a buzzword. It's something that has always been like common language. But narrative, yes, I think is one of. There's always because what I think it is. We have more access to people's conversation via platforms such as this. We see so many podcasts having long form conversation and people talking where it's like you think, 5, 10, even 5, I'll say probably 10 years ago, there weren't as many podcasts. There were some, I know it's not like brand new, but now they're so prevalent. And even with social media, like not just podcasts, but videos of people talking. So I think because we're so privy to more people's conversation, we're hearing more things being said.
Well, why the same word over and over? I get what you're saying. Like you would hear different words, you would pick up a vocabulary. But for me, excuse me, for me, it feels like in the last 5 years, people, if you give an opinion about something, people say, hey, you're starting a narrative or you're feeding into a narrative. It's just, again, growing up, that's the comparison I'm making. My life to growing up and my life to where it is now. And I haven't heard these words nearly as much as I did as a kid as I do now.
It's just like anything that picks up, like when people start slang, like people start repeating it, you start hearing it more because one person hears it and they start saying it more. Where now it's words outside of just slang, it's other words in the lexicon that people are hearing and they start using more frequently. And I think every couple years, every year there's like, a new buzzword. It went from gaslighting. I had known gaslighting was something new I had never heard of. People toxic. Everything was toxic, a few years ago. And not to say
that's another one of those words.
But not to say it was any less truth to it and how it was being used. But it was like, okay, now just the same way people would pick up slang and use that, they're picking up other vocabulary and using it.
But I think that's contrary. I would disagree with what you're saying when you say whether it's right or not, because I think people hear stuff and want to use it themselves, whether it's applicable to the situation that they're talking about. They're just saying, hey, I have anxiety because you may not feel comfortable in this situation, or hey, that's a narrative because you don't like that person's opinion. But that may not be a narrative that they're starting. That narrative may not exist. You just may want to say that it's a narrative.
And see, and I guess too, it depends on which, because I don't really listen, I don't really listen to podcasts like you do. I don't really listen to people talk. So I guess it also depends on what you're tuned into and what you're hearing. Because I know the one show that, I do watch with you, that's the only place I hear that word being used. I don't really hear it anywhere else, but I'm not listening anywhere else. So that makes a difference too. And how much you're listening to.
It's not only on that show, it's on a lot of the shows.
No, that's what I'm saying. I guess too, depending on how much you're listening to will determine the volume of how much you're hearing it. Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't hear it that often, but you can't use me as an example because I ain't really listening to nothing.
Rest in peace out there to Roberta Flack. Mm-hmm. She passed away. Condolences to her family. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace to her. She's a black great, a legend of ours. Yeah. So
what's
rest in peace to her.
I know "Killing Me Softly." What's another Roberta Flack great?
Another song?
Yeah, a great.
I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I would have to hear it. Like, I'm not good with the names of songs.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I know she has some that are pretty popular. I just wanted to pull up her discography really fast to see a couple songs from her. Well, she had quite a few albums. Her last album was in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
But that was like music that, you know.
Yeah,
People go back to the slaps, the hits.
It probably wasn't new. Yeah, the first time ever I saw your face.
That's not the melody, but yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible, baby. It was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, Jesus Christ. My man Steve Smith Sr., football player, ex-football player, was a dog of a football player. Big talking shit motherfucker. Or a little talking shit motherfucker. He ain't big at all.
He was short and stocky.
Yeah, he's like a bowling ball.
He was a running back, right?
No, he's a wide receiver.
Oh, really?
One of the best wide receivers.
Oh,
yeah,
they usually tall and lanky.
Nah, he was a beast. But this guy, you know, he was having an affair with an executive's wife at the Ravens.
Oh.
And this guy caught wind of it and put it on social media like a nut. And then called him. He put some stuff up and posted some stuff, but then after that, he called him and recorded it and said, "Hey, man, like, you banging my wife." And Steve Smith says, "Sorry." And that's it. Like, no more said, and didn't say anything, which is contrary to his personality, because you've seen him and he's much of a
very
boisterous and demonstrative and a big shit talker. But, you know, nowadays you have to, I guess, anticipate, hey, I'm being recorded on the other line, so let me watch what I say, because I might fuck something up for me.
You know, another word that has become a common buzzword that perfectly describes this guy, the one who was being cheated on: crash out. Like, he completely crashed out.
Gaslighting too is another one of those buzzwords.
I said that, yeah, like that was it. But he completely crashed out. Like,
but some people do be crashing out though. I don't know what else to call it. Like,
no, that's why I said when people use it, it's not that like it's not all. I won't say always true. It's relevant, and this perfectly describes like him call. And don't get me wrong, I'm not judging him, because
I am.
We don't know what we would do if placed in that situation. I would think I'm not even thinking about my husband cheating. I would think that I would not call another chick, but I can't promise that.
Well, I'm not saying I'm above or below that. What I am above is I'm not going to the internet.
Oh,
my wife is getting banged by somebody.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be. I might crash out and she know. Right. I might call a nigga and she know and a nigga know, but I am not recording myself crashing out. Like, that's not. I know for sure I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that I agree with. I just meant call. Yeah, the whole going to the internet. Y'all know my stance. If you don't, I've said it time and time again. I'm not one of them people who believe, oh, if you show the good, you got to show the bad. No, you don't. We don't got to see you crying. We don't got to know when you sad. Now, if you do, that's your thing. But I don't feel like people have to show that side of your life. I'm not coming on there talking bad when I'm mad at my husband. We're not posting no videos of us arguing. Like, we human. We go through things. Social media, for me, is fun and entertainment and a little bit of education. Some cute pictures, some cute videos. If we mad at each other that day, we just ain't posting no cute pictures or videos. And it doesn't mean every time we're mad. Like, but again, I am not with that posting the negative. Like, when they say never, that I can say never.
I'm like, I don't know
so
what
many
you think
people do that. Look at Cardi and Offset.
Be like, you banging my wife. It sounded like he was waking up from a nap. Like, what do you think the response is going to be? And it's almost one of them, like, that's like I want to say like a girl thing, but you feel like I messed up your marriage, so you gonna come mess up mine.
He married?
Steve Smith? Yeah. Hell yeah. Got fucking 3 kids too.
Well, you know what? So when I heard the recording,
I think actually, to be honest, I think he has 5 kids.
When I heard the recording, what I thought to myself, it sounded like he was in a room with other people. It was quiet, but it just sounded like he couldn't say anything. That's how I interpreted it, and I could be 1,000% wrong because he didn't say nothing. So it's all conjecture. He said sorry, and then that was it. And the guy kept talking, and it sounded like he was moving around or something, like whether he was waking up or getting his stuff together, or maybe he was around his wife and trying not to be so obvious and like maybe acting like he was listening to an important call or something. Because how do you can't engage in that conversation in front of your wife?
No, you can't. But you also, again, in this day and age, would have to anticipate I might be recorded, and I have a job. I'm on TV. I don't want to say and pop off on this dude.
That's why I'm saying it's all conjecture because we don't know what his
now on TMZ it's Steve Smith goes off on guy over banging his wife, and they got me like going in on this dude.
And him just saying sorry, because that can be interpreted as like sorry, I didn't hear you. And it's almost like I might be able to contest that being my voice because it was just 2 syllables. If I don't say nothing else, then he can't 100% prove it was me.
I think he had the wife's phone because it said Steve Smith on the caller ID. So the guy knew he was calling.
But you said he worked with the Ravens, so he could have just got his number from somebody.
You're right, and now with these updates, when you get a unknown number, the name still pops
it will
up.
I don't like that.
It says baby something.
Yeah,
like some lady called me the other day that was named Wendy Ortiz, and it said maybe Wendy Ortiz.
Why you put her business out there?
She called me.
I'm messing with you.
I ain't doing nothing bad.
Yeah. So it's damn. I didn't know he was married.
Yeah, and I think he got a gang of kids, like 5, maybe 4.
Yeah, you feel like you ruined my marriage. I'm ruining yours. It's and this sounds very chauvinistic or whatever the opposite of that. It's a woman.
The opposite of chauvinistic is not chauvinistic.
No, but like being chauvinistic is towards women. What is it when you're that way towards a man? Androgynous, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I misunderstood what you said.
No, misogynistic or androgynistic, something, whatever. But it's almost expected for like a woman to do something like that, call another woman, or be on the phone like you messing with my man, blah blah blah. But to hear a man do it, it breaks my heart a little because you don't usually hear men in that vulnerable state like that. And it almost is like, damn, like you feel bad for women, but it's almost like men are just expected to cheat in a lot of cases, unfortunately. But when a man finds out his woman is the cheater,
I think when men respond like that, docile and on the phone, I think those are the men that are 100% not leaving. And they just want some type of get back. And they probably already had the conversation with their wife and it's settled. But the eating them up with the other guy, the fact that I worked at the team with you, that's eating them up. So it's like, I want a little get back with that. But that dude sounds like he's not leaving. Like he sounds like one of those guys that, okay, this has already been settled amongst us. I'm just confronting you about it.
To let you know that I know.
Yeah, but my decision is I'm not leaving because normally, you would have responded in a different way if you were out. If you wouldn't call the guy. You damn sure wouldn't record yourself calling the guy, putting out to the world, hey, this dude banged my wife. Like, I don't know who looks like a bad guy in that. Steve Smith don't look bad in that. You look bad. You just let the world know Steve Smith's banging your wife.
No, Steve Smith does look bad because the guy, to me at least, it's like his feelings is so hurt. It's like, damn, like, why you do this to him? But in that situation, it's Steve didn't even really get. I guess that's even more infuriating when you want to like call and have beef with somebody and they don't even give you nothing. They just quiet. That's like.
And how much of a telephone tough guy do you want to be? Do you want to start calling them pussy and cursing them out when he's not even there, and you can get all that shit off?
All is fair in love and war.
That's crazy. That wouldn't be me though.
Yeah.
3 grams.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. How do you deal with a unfollow of somebody that you are cool with?
Like if they unfollow me or I unfollow them?
They unfollowed you. But you don't recollect any we had no scuffle, no kerfuffles, no this and that. Like, hey, matter of fact, we just was out to dinner a month ago. Like, so I don't remember nobody saying nothing. She ain't said nothing to me, but she's not unfollowed. She unfollowed me.
It depends on how close we are. If like Crystal unfollowed me, I would say something like, "We got beef. Like, what's up?" So I would say something. If it's somebody that, like I have a lot of Instagram friends and followers, whatever you want to call it, from like high school. So with somebody if I just know, but like we don't talk like that, and they unfollowed me, I just like, okay. I would probably wonder like, I wonder what was it that I said that.
I appreciate your honesty because I know my wife, and you are the type of person not like you gonna lose sleep over it, but it will wonder you to be like, thinking, what was that about? Like, you're not gonna be like me where it's like, fuck out of here.
Like, damn, we got beef. I ain't know. Like, what? I would just wonder what post was it or what story was it that sent them over the edge. I unfollowed somebody who, we used to work together and we weren't friends, but we were cool. I had did a job reference for her. She had asked me one time. We was cool, but what put me over the edge with her?
What?
The whole Trump thing, and it wasn't so much that she voted for Trump and like she is an advocate. It was like when and you know how we feel about Kamala. It wasn't like I was no hoorah, but I just felt like it was a mockery about like all of her posts and things. And I told myself, right, I don't owe nobody nothing on social media. If every time I look at a person's page I'm like, why do I don't have to follow them. I don't have to be friends with them. That way I won't have to see this and it won't piss me off. And that's why, like, and even people that I don't know, like social media people
You're
that
such a fucking cat.
Like, what?
You are such a pussy cat.
Why? Like, even like social media people that I feel like, oh, she always saying something. Oh, she get on my nerves. Oh, she always
There's those people on social media.
And I unfollow them. Like, what am I following them for if 9 times out of 10 when I look at their page, I'm annoyed by something? I don't have to follow them. Like, so...
I'll do an unfollow, too.
Yeah, if I don't want to see...
And I'll do a 30-day snooze, too.
I'll definitely do a snooze. I'll do a snooze if it's like somebody who they might get on my nerves, but I care about them. And I'll be honest, like I probably don't want to hurt their feelings or have that conversation, especially if the things that they're getting on my nerves about are sensitive things, Yeah. So it's like, I'll do a snooze. But if somebody unfollowed me, again, if we, like you said, we was just out to dinner and we cool, I would ask, like, what's up? I actually reached, and it wasn't like she unfollowed me. Somebody who I, am cool with. Like, we've been out to dinner a few times.
I'm trying to think of somebody that you're not that cool with, but it's not like it's a lot of people that I can say. I can say names. But I
would ask.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shanique, you would ask. Like, I know you would ask if Toya. Like, I'm trying to think of people like, anybody, like any family. I think you would ask.
Not really. Like, I mean, other than our sisters, not really.
Okay, if cousin Karen just stopped following you and you seen like she stopped following you, you wouldn't inquire about it, or you just would say, she stopped following me. I don't know what that's about. I'm on with my day. Or would you think, I'm going to contact cousin Karen and see like why she unfollowed me. I got a notification you stopped following me.
Well, you don't get a notification.
Or whatever.
Yeah. I probably would ask her. Yeah, okay, I probably would ask.
There's nobody I can say.
No, I mean, but no other family, like I probably would ask.
Well, that I know. I wouldn't name any other family.
Okay.
That's who I was thinking about.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I have other family members that, but yeah, I probably wouldn't ask anybody else. But yeah, so that, again, somebody who... But like I was about to say, somebody who I'm cool with, she's a friend. We've been out to dinner. We went to a yoga class together before, and I went to send her something, and I realized she wasn't on Facebook or Instagram. I'm like, what the heck? But I texted like, hey, what's up? I saw you wasn't on social media. She was telling me she just had a lot going on. She was back. She was trying to finish school, and she was just like, it was a distraction. And I was like, okay, just wanted to check in, like, make sure you was cool.
Say Mindy stopped following Would you ask, or would you just
no.
be like, I'm just going one day? Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Right.
ask. I mean, because now
again,
yeah, Mindy, I love her. Like we cool, but if it's somebody,
no shade against her. I was just trying to think of somebody.
I understand. If it's somebody that I text on my personal cell phone, you know, we do check-ins, even if it's like a monthly, quarterly check-in, then yeah, I'm going to ask a question. If it's somebody who I only communicate with on social media, I'm not asking a question. That's how I look at it.
You spoke about why you unfollowed somebody because of Trump. Have you seen Trump Gaza?
No.
Okay, can you pull up your phone? Because, you know, we can look at this in real time, but I want to see your response in real time. Pull up Instagram and go to Trump's page.
Okay. Talk me through it.
Okay. I just want you to see the
What
colonization.
is his page?
Just put in Trump, the real Donald Trump.
POTUS?
Not POTUS, the real Trump.
Oh, okay.
Okay, watch that first video right there. Little sound. But this is what him and Elon are colonizing next.
I think this is.
Look, just watch it.
I'm trying to talk through it so that we don't have like.
No, I got you. But just you watch our
disgusting.
But this is what he's thinking of, their shorelines, and you see he keeps having Elon Trump hotel, like strip stores, a statue. But this is what the whites want to colonize next. But just, what do you think about that though? Like, that's like clearly saying this is what we want to do to the Gaza Strip that has been what it is for 100 years. Now we want to put shopping malls and Louis Vuitton stores and swimming pools.
You want to make it Miami Beach?
Yeah.
Or Dubai. Like,
or where the place he live at? What's the fucking...
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, Mar-a-Lago. Dubai on a different level.
I think I'm not surprised. He has no respect for anything except money. The sad part about it is between Israel and Gaza, this centuries long fight with them has been over the what they could call their holy land. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're just negating that part of it to turn this into a financially lucrative situation for you.
Strangers are walking around.
You're not even acknowledging the fact that
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like
like strangers are walking around on holy ground, and you think they're not going to be in an uproar about that?
And the sad part is too, Israel, if they were to allow him to do that, it just goes to show. It for me, it would make me feel like, what was really your whole deal with Gaza? Because if, again, you're saying this is your holy land, they're saying it's their holy land, but yet you get them out of here to then allow him to do this, how sacred was the land really? Mm-hmm. But I don't think that they will allow him to do that. I don't think Israel will allow him to do that to that land.
I don't think so either.
But just the disrespect of him even showing that this is their this is their idea of what they would want to do that.
The president.
That should make Israel and their supporters look at him to say, he's disgusting.
Obviously, somebody in that campaign used some AI and made him a video, and he posted that.
And not only that, to have this statue of him, which again goes against Islamic. I don't know about Jewish religion, but like this golden statue, like people are going to be looking at you as an idol. Like, it's sad and it's disrespectful. It's disgusting.
What do you think about the Trump gold card?
You got to tell me more. I don't pay attention to Trump stuff.
Gold card. He's replacing the green card with the gold card that will be sold for $5 million.
Oh, you mean like a green card, like
citizenship? So he's taking away the green card.
No, let's just say he wants to, because I don't think anybody's going to approve
He wants to take away the green card and make it called the Trump Gold Card, where this card will be sold for $5 million to the richest people in the world to come here and spend their money and boost the U.S.'s economy. That's his way of, those are the citizens, those are the immigrants that I want in the country, is the rich ones. So the ones that, and this was going around the internet, the internet, they got, what's the girl's, this some ghetto shit, what's the girl's, her boyfriend on the The Ratchet show. Portia.
Oh, Simon.
They locked his ass up. ICE got him. That's just another side thing, but
yeah, he was already in the middle of some immigration stuff. But the thing with what he's saying, and this just goes to show how egocentric he is. The richest
Hold on, before you start your point, you put down a down payment and then you pay in installments. But go ahead.
The richest people in other countries are fine in their countries. They're not trying to come here. The people who have $5 million to spend, just frivolously to buy a Trump gold card, they're not trying to leave their countries. The people that are trying to leave their countries to migrate here are those who are suffering or who are able to make ends meet or trying to come here for a better life. When you think about the richest people in Dubai or in France or in Qatar or in Bahrain or in Ghana, in South Africa, they're rich and they're comfortable and they love where they live. They're not looking to come to America.
I disagree with that. I think that they're rich and they love where they live and they're big in their countries, but I think they would like to have citizenship in the U.S. for business purposes, not to live here, not to come here, not to adapt here. But those people with that kind of wealth, yeah, I'm from Bali or India or wherever I'm from, and my fortune is here. But to have citizenship in the United States for business purposes is an advantage to me.
Well, they don't want to have citizenship here because then you talk about tax liabilities. They probably want to be able to come here to do business as businessmen and get whatever visa.
And pay taxes. If you come here and do business, you got to pay taxes. That's a part of it. So I'm sure they will be open to some taxes.
Well, yeah, some, but not as a citizen, because you have some people who come here and they don't pay the same taxes that we pay.
No,
as like
it's different money you talking about.
What I'm saying is that they don't pay the same taxes that we pay out of our paycheck because they're not citizens here.
Right.
So they may want to come here and handle business on a different level, but they're not looking to be citizens here. That's all I'm saying.
I think having dual citizenship in these countries is something that the wealthy people want if you're not from here. It's just something I would think you would want. Even if you come here once every 5 years, to have dual citizenship in United States and Russia and China and wherever I want to do, I want to move around. I'm a quadruple billionaire, like whatever.
But if you can do that without having dual citizenship, you can come here. You got some places you can get it. Like when we go to Jamaica, we get a visa just to stay there for whatever our vacation time is. But what is it valid for? Was it 90 days?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got some places you go, like it may be valid for 6 months, like some visa types you get. So that's what I'm just saying. I don't think those people who are at the top of their wealth class in their countries want to come here as a citizen. Do they want to visit to shop and spend money and maybe do some business? Yeah, but they probably already do that.
I disagree. I think they would probably want citizenship or some type of way into the United States through that avenue. I mean, that's your opinion. You think they don't? I would think that that's something they would probably want in their pocket.
And I think because it's being offered by him, let me just say, I don't think this is ever going to come to fruition. Anyway, it's like he's playing Monopoly, like a Trump card, like
Trump gold card.
It's like, sir,
like it's a fucking Amex or something.
Like it's interest to your hotel. This is our country. This isn't your golf course or your country club or your hotel or your casino. This is the country. They're not going to name the immigration document after you and pay you $5 million.
That's just where his
mindset is so.
That's where his mindset was when he spoke about this. It was, I'm going to remove the poorest immigrants who come here and we pay taxes on and we support. And I'm going to bring in the richest people to come here and spend their wealth here to boost the U.S. economy. So whatever that means, that's his retarded thinking. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's go to the last gram.
You can't use the R word.
Okay, yeah, you can't use the R word. And I know you got a headache, so let's wrap this up.
Let me just say this, too. It has only been 1 month since he's been in office. And I'm not even as engaged as I know some people are, but it's like the stress, the constant thinking about all the things that's going on regarding him, this is going, for those people who are really like knee deep in the politics and like following every word he said, tracking every movement, and like this is gonna cause so much. It's going to be a problem for a lot of people. Like, again, we're 1 month in, and just talking about him gives me a headache. Like, I already got a headache. One. But it's just so like thinking about, you already have one. But it's like just thinking about like from the DEI stuff to the ICE stuff to now they've approved the to stop the funding for Medicaid, which could directly impact my job. My job is talking about federal programs since we're a federally funded program. They're talking about DEI stuff within our company now. It's just all of this stuff that's going on. I think this is 1 month. We got 4 years. We got 47 more to go. Yeah. It's too much.
It's gonna get wild. It's gonna get crazy.
It's too much. We have to disconnect.
The last gram. Did you hear about the couple who sat next to the dead body on a plane? They was on an airline. Somebody died. All the seats was full. They had to split the body next to this couple. They put a sheet over it. This is not funny, but they put a sheet over it, and eventually the wife got so was traumatized so much that she had to move. Like somebody had in the thing like seen her screaming, and they moved over so she could sit down. So the husband was there, and he said he got traumatized because they didn't really cover the face. And when they moved the body, when they took him off the plane first, like that's all he remembered is the face not being covered.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something different. Like,
what can you do different? You can't stand on a plane. There's no more seats.
They got those jump seats that the flight attendants sit in. Put the body in one of those.
The flight attendants sit in them.
They sit in them when it's time for them to sit in them. Other than that, they walk back and forth.
So when it's time for them to sit down,
then the dead body can sit in the jump seat, and the flight attendant can sit next to me, or I can sit in the jump seat. But I'm not riding on this 5-hour flight with a dead body next to me. Or do you know the kind of lawsuit?
Or
now,
apparently this is more I've looked into this. Apparently this is more common than you think. This happens all the time where somebody gets in the air, has a heart attack, or has a cardiac issue, and dies. And they actually sit a person. If the plane is full, then this person has to be sat in a seat with a sheet over them. What can you do?
Why? And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful at all. Why can't they wrap it in a sheet and lay it on the floor in the bed?
Are you kidding me? Somebody's loved one, you're going to lay them on the floor?
Wrap it in the sheet.
What that's don't say that, but you got to cut that out.
Why? Why do I have to cut that out? How is that disrespectful?
You know what? No, because it is disrespectful. You ain't going to wrap no fucking body's loved one in a goddamn sheet and put them on the floor underneath the seats, babe.
I didn't say in the seat.
That's where they're going to be. You act like you going to put them in the aisle. People go in the bathroom. People freaking out that it's a dead body on there. You got to keep the shit far away from people as possible.
You tell everybody use the bathroom up front.
What about
we have a situation. Use the bathroom up front.
You can't
sit the body in the bathroom. Okay? Sit the body in the bathroom. Crazy. Why can't you sit the body in the bathroom?
You can't sit the body in the bathroom. It's disrespectful to the dead. It's disrespectful to somebody's remains, somebody's loved ones. Somebody find out you put their fucking person in the bathroom, they gonna have a fit.
I don't think I would.
Yes, you would. What if your sister died on that fucking airplane and they put her in the bathroom, or rolled her up in her coat and rolled her underneath put on the floor?
I didn't say in her coat. I said in a sheet. Like
what if they don't have a sheet?
Manner.
Okay, somebody give a stranger's sheet out of somebody's suitcase. Volunteer sheet, because flight attendants just don't have sheets. So somebody in one of these bags
cover her with a sheet on the seat.
So somebody had to volunteer a sheet. So somebody in one of these bags where y'all flying got a sheet. They hand it to us. We cover them up.
I think sitting the body in the bathroom is a better option.
No. And I think probably they might carry a sheet because that happens commonly. I heard that people die and they don't want the person just sitting there like with nothing on.
You can see their face.
Yeah, and their eyes or they
Well, they got clothes on.
No, I mean like like so they put something over their body. I don't think I
would
think
you
I
sit
would,
next to it?
No, I think I would stand.
You can't stand the whole flight.
Then I'm going to the bathroom and sitting on the toilet the whole flight.
You can't.
What you mean I can't?
You would rather sit your alive self in the bathroom than sit a dead person in the bathroom.
You can't sit a dead person in the bathroom.
I don't understand why that's a problem.
It's a fucking problem. I'm telling you, you can't sit a dead person in the bathroom.
All right.
That's a wrap. Y'all leave it in the comments. Can you leave a dead person that died on the plane in the bathroom? Can you roll them up in a sheet and put them on the floor in the back of the plane like this one wants to?
I don't understand why there would be an issue.
Act 2, the podcast, episode 216. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, Player FM. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. If y'all fuck with us, we fuck with you. Peace.